another week of making that art. I think it's week 8. Now this week the prompt is lino cut. I was so excited about this one because I have all of the lino cut supplies and I've wanted to do lino cut for quite a long time. Clearly it was a hyperfixation at some stage because I've got a bazillion lino cut things here. I've got all the materials. I've got like all of the basic block printing ink colors, and yeah, so clearly it was a hyperfixation at one stage, but because all the things are unfinished, I didn't do a lot. I'm excited because I've got a cool idea. When I initially drew this prompt, I was going to do something incorporating fabric because I really like sewing and I haven't done it in a little while. So I was going to make some sort of fabric wall hanging thing. But as time progressed, I was like, you know what? I actually put this prompt in there because I already had an idea for it. And it was that I really wanted to do a tarot card design, and I think I'm going to do that instead. So I can be a bit spiritual, and I've got a few tarot card decks. The reason why I love tarot cards is because it's just about getting in tune with your gut instinct and your inner voice, and I really like that. So yeah, that's why I've got them. But I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to use some of my supplies I haven't used yet, and also do a design that I really love in a really cute, quirky way. The inspiration is just like the typical sun tarot card design, but obviously it's going to have a quirky twist because all of my art does, and all of my art's kind of cutesy. So my plan is to get my little sun design. I'm going to rework it a little bit on my iPad just to put it into the tarot style, and then I'll transfer that over onto a block, and then I'll go from there. But I'll show you guys the whole process. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm a bit apprehensive because lino cutting can be a lot of work, and I have picked a detailed design because I don't like to do things in halves, do I? So we'll just see, but I do want to show you something very cool. A few months ago, I went to this really cool place in Melbourne called Dodgy Paper, and they sell this, they hand make paper out of like recycled bits and pieces. So I'll show you some of the bits that I got, and one of them I'm going to use this week in my art. So this is one of them. You can tell it's really cool. It's really textured and fun. I really love it. If you haven't handmade paper before, it can be quite hard. So to see some of these really cool textures come out is really cool. This is another one of my absolute faves. It's a circle, but up close, look at all those beautiful tiny little details. I love it. I want to make something out of this, but I don't know what yet because it's so beautiful. And then there's also this one, and I think this is the one that I'm going to use to print on today. It's blue with like these bright speckly pink bits, and then the back's got a bit more pink on it. I'm unsure what side I will print on, but the sun tarot card print I'm just going to do in black. But I think that would be really cool on this paper, and I like using different mediums, and I want to do that for my bad art challenge, so that's what I'm thinking about using. If you don't know about Dodgy Paper, definitely look them up. They're really cool, and they are also in the same facility as another really cool business called Lousy Ink, and they make artist ink out of recycled printer ink. And I just think the whole premise of it is just all so amazing. I love the idea of reusing things so that we're not putting them out into landfill. And I really love both of those businesses, and I'm excited to use some Dodgy Paper today. I'll go through some of the supplies that I have. So as you guys can see, I've got heaps of different blocks. I'm thinking I'm probably going to use, I don't remember using one of these, but it's an easy carve block. I like the shape of it. It feels quite tarot card shaped, and you know, I was gonna make it really big to fit on this paper, but I think having the tarot card like that size will be good. So I've picked out that because I think otherwise I've got this block, but it's a little bit smaller. I don't love it, but I might change my mind. Otherwise I could have made it full A4, but it just feels like, that just feels huge. And I really want to celebrate the paper. So I've got that. I've got this sheet of acrylic, which you can use to roll the ink on. I've got some ink. I love Past Me for hoarding all of this stuff. I've got some Daravan block ink. And then I've just got like all of my supplies. So I've got a few like rollers to roll the ink on the design. I've got some in different sizes. I've got a medium and a little. I've got one of these things, I don't know. It's meant to like help smooth the design. And then I've got some really good lino carving tools. So I'm excited because I honestly don't remember the last time that I used this. I feel like it was a couple of years ago. Can I even get into this bloody box? Don't know. How do I get into this thing? Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Yay! No idea what that is. I like these ones because they've got longer handles. Some of the cheaper ones that you get, they only have skinny handles, or like short handles. So I like those. So yeah, we'll just see how we go. But right now I'm going to get my iPad out. I'm gonna perfect the design. I want to make it so it's like interesting but not too difficult. So I'm gonna figure that out now, and then I'll show you me transferring it and then lino cutting, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I think I'm really excited to use this paper. The thing is with these papers is that I think I'm gonna do the more pink side. But the thing is with these papers is that I love them so much, but then I don't use them because I'm too scared. So I'm excited to use them. So I'm trying to determine what size I should make this thing. The white one will fit in there better. So I'm going to put the rest of these away and just keep out what I need. Okay, let's do it. So here I am just designing my little tarot card. I decided to pick the sun because I just think it's so cute. I've used this design in a few different things. I used it for my Patreon design a couple of months ago, and then I just added some clouds and some cute little stars to the card just to fill it out a little bit better. I really love this little sun, so cute. Here I'm just picking out, you know, what colors are going to be black and what I need to cut away from the block. I also needed to make sure that the lines were thick enough. Here I'm just measuring to make sure that when I trace it, it's going to actually fit on the block in a good way. So yeah, and then I end up going over this with pencil again to make sure that when I transfer it over, it actually gives a good transfer onto the block. So this is a cheap way that you can actually transfer a design. So you basically just use pencil to rub on the back and it just transfers. This is the easiest and cheapest way, and that's all I had to do it. And look, it came on the block really, really good. You also have to make sure that it's on the right way so that when you lay down the print, the spelling will be in the right direction and it will be facing the right way. Here I'm just lining it all out so that the pencil marks don't rub away while I'm carving it. I'm so excited. It's finally time to carve this little cutie. I'm so happy with my little design. I picked the Sun tarot card because it's got a really positive message. It's all about positivity, abundance, joy, and like fun. It's just a really nice card, and I just thought that really came through with this design as well. I had so much fun doing a lino cut. This is such a meditative process. I just loved laying down my design, and then I could just get lost in carving and knew that I just needed to carve out the bits that were white and leave what was black. And I could just get really lost in it. And it was honestly just so fun to just not have to think about it. So I really, really loved the process of doing a lino cut. I was a little bit nervous about some of the tiny details, especially like the lips and, just cutting out the bits in the eyes and things like that. But surprisingly, I think I did an okay job. I think it came out really, really well. So I was really happy with how I did it. Then I could carve out the details in the sun lettering down the bottom. And I used this old stamp pad to just gently rub over the design just to see if there were any bits that I still needed to cut away. It's really handy to do that to make sure that you cut away any of the unwanted bits that you want in your print. But yeah, that's it. I was pretty happy with how it came out. Then it was finally time to print this sucker, and I was so excited. This was probably the most exciting part, and probably the part that was the quickest. Everything leading up to this part was a little bit more complicated, but I just got some regular printer paper and tried printing it just to see and make sure that it came out okay. I was pretty happy with the first one. I did a second one just to check, is it easier to lay the print down or lay it on top? And then I actually did a couple of test prints on good paper because I thought I might put them into my stock and eventually sell them. Plus it was good practice for me. It was so fun. I loved making prints for myself so quickly. Now here I am lining it up to do the actual dodgy paper. This was risky. This was scary because I was like, how's this going to go? I've only got one piece of this paper. But I picked the side that had a lot of pink on it because I thought that would look really cute. And I decided that this was the best way to get the best print. And then I also rubbed over the top as well. Oh, so nerve-wracking. But it came out so good. There were a couple of places that just didn't have, due to the texture of the paper, didn't print so well, so I'm just here filling it in with some of my paintbrush. Hey cuties, so I finished my lino cut. I'm so happy with how it turned out. When I was sketching it onto the block, I thought, oh no, I've done what I didn't want to do last week, which is probably pick something that's really complicated. And I was kind of like, do I try and fix this? Do I make it less complicated? Am I going to have as much fun because some of the details are really tiny? I was really stressing out, which isn't the point of bad art. But when it came to carving it, it was actually a lot easier than I thought, and I actually had such a fun time. It made me remember how much I really love lino cutting. I love carving like details out. It's really fun when it's your own design, and I'm so happy with how it came out. So this is the block. I was so happy with like how the block came out. Yeah, some of these like little pointed edges weren't perfect, but I think that's why I liked it so much, is just that it wasn't perfect, and that's kind of the fun of lino printing, I think, is that you're gonna have like some weird textures and stuff in there, and I just think that that's really, really cool. So I was really happy with how the block came out, and then I was like, oh god, like it's time to print, like let's see what happens. I did a few test prints. So to start off, I did a few test prints just on like watercolor paper, and I actually loved doing the test prints. I did 5 of them, and I'll eventually put them up on my website because it was just really fun. It's fun printing your own prints in like half an hour and then having like little prints for your shop. I really loved it. I'll show you a close-up of these. So like none of them are perfect, they're all a little bit different, but like I said, that's what I really like about lino printing, is that you're gonna just have subtle differences. It's sort of like the luck of the draw, and it's fun that it's like that. So I made 5 of these, they're all numbered. I'll eventually pop them up on my shop, I think, because I'm really proud of them. So doing the test prints was really, really fun, and then came to printing my dodgy paper, which I was nervous about because I think I've tried to print with dodgy paper ages ago, or like tried to draw on it. Because the paper is made out of like paper pulp, there are areas on the paper that are sort of like the depth is like a little bit lower than other parts of the paper. So I was a little bit nervous about putting my print on there, because as you lay this down on the paper, some of like the lower paper pulped bits might not actually press up against the print. So I was like a little bit nervous. It came out pretty good. You'll see that in my process videos. I actually went over with some of the block printing ink and just colored in some of the bits that obviously didn't take as well as they could have. But you know what, like I was happy with that, because there were just a few bits that weren't colored in very well, like some of the stars and just like a couple of bits in the eyes and around the border where I wrote the sun. So I was more than happy to just go over that, but it's still got like the really cool textures. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'll show you. It looks amazing. Like, this was one of the funnest weeks I've had in a while, I think, doing this print, and it makes me want to lino cut more, definitely. But like the textures of the sun and everything, oh, and like look at that cute face. It's just really, it's a really, really cool print. I'm really, really happy with it. I was umming and ahhing about what side to do, because like this one had less pink, this had more pink. I'm glad I also picked this side because this one was a bit pulpier, so the print might have misprinted a little bit more on that side. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how it came out. It's perfect to me. I loved doing this print, and I also love doing these prints. Like that was really fun, and whenever I want to like reprint anymore, I can. If I wanted to like print it on fabric or something, I could, which I love. Like, this is what I love about lino printing, because it is very versatile. You can sort of do anything with it, which I absolutely love. And yeah, doing this actually made me want to do like a bunch of tarot cards, and that got me really excited. I always thought it would be fun to play with the idea of making my own tarot deck, or maybe not even the whole deck, just like some of the cards. And doing the sun was really, really fun. I'd love to do a moon as well, to do the same. I think it would be cool if I did a moon but on a pink dodgy paper. So that's a very cool project that I can work on. But yeah, and the cool thing about lino cutting too is that if I wanted to, I could make little blocks to fill in the colors of these, which I also think is really fun. So like if I wanted to make it yellow and then like the clouds blue, I could make tiny little blocks to stamp before I laid the black down. So yeah, it's just really versatile. It's a really fun medium. I encourage you, if you didn't try it this week, to give it a go. This easy carve block was so easy to carve, and you can buy these pretty cheap, I think like $5 or something from an art supply store or online. And then some of the tools you can get real like quite cheap tools by like Montmart, I think. And yeah, you don't need anything crazy, and like you could just use paint. Like I've got block printing ink from years ago, but you could just use paint, and yeah, and you could just like paint it on. You could just, I think just give it a go. Like it's really, really fun, and I'm really excited to, you know, maybe I'll print some fabric with lino cutting stuff, and that's a really exciting project. And I just love, I'm just loving bad art because I've done almost, so this is week 8, and I've done a lot of different things. I've tried lots of different mediums, and there are little bits and pieces out of every week that I absolutely adore and think, oh my God, I want to use this in my regular art practice. And that's really exciting for me, because then I think, okay, well, how could I put it into like making clothes? And it just opens up this crazy, amazing world of possibilities, and it makes me really, really excited for like all the creative things that this like beautiful art challenge will eventually blossom into, which is really, really cool. Anyway, that's enough from me rambling on. To finish off, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of my beautiful patrons for supporting me throughout this week and all the weeks of the Bad Art Challenge. I really appreciate you guys, and it's just so cute to have like a little Bad Art Club together where we can chat about things and share what we've made. So thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much to everybody watching these videos. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you next week for more Bad Art. Bye!